another video about the comments that Charles Barkley made about super teams in the NBA. And, Barkley says that super teams he does not support. And let's look at what super teams in the NBA. Is it good for the sport or is it bad for the NBA? Back in the day, in the era of Michael Jordan and Karl Malone and John Stockton, you know, there always been super teams, but it was the teams that put those players together. Um, I think super teams started off with no other than LeBron James going from Cleveland to Miami, and then bringing Chris Bosh and along with him. LeBron kind of opened the door for the fact that, hey, if you're a superstar, an all-star in the NBA, and you're not winning, it's okay, to go join another all-star, and link up and create a super team. But super teams has always been around. It's just that back in the day when Charles Barkley and Michael Jordan and all them played, teams put together a super team, not players. Now the players are doing it. Now the question is it good for the NBA? As a sports fan, for me, I am about competition. I love the underdog. I root for the underdog. If you have more than one player on as an all-star on one team, I just don't think it's going to be fair for everybody else, competition-wise. I'm not sitting here saying that if you're a free agent, and like in KD's case, he had every right to wanting to go to Golden State and play there. If you're a free agent, you have every right to want to go somewhere, I think, in my opinion. I didn't hate on KD for joining the Warriors like everybody else did. He was a free agent. To LeBron's credit, LeBron did honor his contract in Cleveland before he went to Miami, okay? And then he went back to Cleveland and actually helped win a championship in Cleveland. So that I do give LeBron credit for. But as far as, is this league too friendly? We don't see any real NBA rivalries anymore like they used to have back in the day. It was, the Lakers versus the Celtics. I mean, that was a rivalry back in the day. Even the Warriors and the Clippers is still a rivalry. But, these players still compete. Um, but, it's to me, competition wise, super teams, it takes away, the thrill of the drama of the underdog, I guess, as you will. Because, if you have, three All Stars on one team, let's take Brooklyn Nets, for example. Kevin Durant, James Harden, and Kyrie Irving. Who does not expect the Brooklyn Nets not to win at all? But, I guess that's why they play the game. But to me, I think it's a good and it's a bad thing, super teams in the NBA and in any sport. I know football, NFL, you have, players joining other teams, not to the fact that they want to link up with their friends, but they join that team because that team is a good team. Just like you could take the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, for example, they are kind of a super team with Tom Brady, Gronkowski, Antonio Brown, and all the people that they have on their squad. So now the question is that I have for you guys is super teams in any sport, whether it's the NBA, whether it's the NFL, whether it's MLB, is it good for the sport competition wise? I mean, you have a team like the LA Dodgers in baseball who like to buy a whole bunch of all stars like Mookie Betts and all that, and put them all on one team, how do you not expect them not to win as well? How is that is fair for other teams to try who are trying to compete and win as well? For small market teams like Phoenix, or other small market teams like um, so, what is your guys' opinion? Is super teams good for the sports in general, not just the NBA, but sports in general? Does Charles Barkley have a point? And do you guys agree with Charles Barkley? I agree with him about super teams. But to me, the only thing I disagree with is that if you're a free agent and you have every right to wanting to go play somewhere else, don't pull what James Harden did, who cried and whined his way out of the Houston Rockets and came to Oakland. I mean, Brooklyn. Same thing with Anthony Davis. He cried and whined his way out of New Orleans. I think there's a right way to do it. Um, Case in point, KD stayed in with OKC for decades and decades, and I blame the franchise for letting it get to that point where players want to leave and they don't want to be there no more. So, KD leaving there to come to Golden State, I don't hold him accountable for that at all. But LeBron James definitely started this super teams. People forget how good Chris Bosh was really. He was an all-star when he was with the Toronto Raptors. So the difference between him and KD, when he went to the Warriors, he didn't bring anybody with him. But now, he went to Brooklyn Nets. Obviously, he brought Kyrie Irving with him. So he kind of did the same thing LeBron did now in that point. Because despite what you guys may want to say about Kyrie, he is still an all-star. He's still a good player. So what do you guys think? To me, I'm 50-50 about super teams. If we watch sports for competition and the drama and the excitement of the unknown. But if you have a lot of all stars on one team, does that take away from the drama or the competition part? In sports. So let me know what you guys think. Like and subscribe to Zenny62. I'm Eric Lake.